Hector, I recognise you. You play a bit of football, don't you?
Yeah, every now and then.
But Joe and Carl also joining us. And I thought a good place to start would be Joe and Carl. If you could just introduce the group that you're a part of and why it means so much to you, please.
So I'm Joe White. I'm currently co-chair of Arsenal Gay Gooners, which is the Arsenal LGBT plus fan group, which is the first LGBT fan group in the UK and the largest in the world. And we're about making sure that LGBT plus fans, their friends, their families and allies can go to Arsenal games over land and sea and Leicester safely and happily, and just mainly follow the Arsenal.
One of the beauties of the Gay Gooners is we're helping people realise that it's okay to be gay or lesbian or bi or trans and still enjoy the beautiful game. We have as much right as anybody else to enjoy that game and to understand the game. Until I was 55, I hadn't really been to a football match in the UK, even though I had plenty of opportunities, because I never felt that it was comfortable for me to be there. And in the end, it has been incredibly comfortable, but the Gay Gooners has certainly helped there in welcoming me, and also just as Joe said, the connection before and after the game. You know, if anybody was listening to us after a game and we analysed the game and, you know, we cry in our beer or we're celebrating, you know, we're just Arsenal fans.
Hector, can you tell us about an Instagram post that you posted during Pride, I think last year? Tell us about the post and why you decided to do it, why you thought it was important.
Well, I think there was someone in the Pride Parade that I was wearing an Arsenal shirt with my name at the back, and I thought it was really cool. You know, I'm not afraid to help in any way I can, and I thought that was something good to do. And you know, I love when someone wears my shirt and they wear it proudly. And of course, I was really happy to repost it.
To have someone who is a player for our club, part of our family, putting themselves out there saying, I support you, I support your group, who you are a valid part of our family and the Arsenal community, really spoke volumes. It's not something many professional footballers, I think, have or necessarily would do. And using your platform, Hector, is just something that shows how much of an ally you are to us, and it means a lot to us to know that we have the support of players on the pitch as well as other people in the stand.
Would you guys be comfortable sharing a little bit of your backstories? Because I think it will be quite powerful for people.
So when I was 15, I came out as gay, lived in a very small rural place in the Midlands, and it was very, very difficult. I was the only out person in the whole of the village, and my dad didn't react particularly well. I'm an Arsenal fan because of my dad. I love football because of my dad. And when I came out, that relationship changed. When I went off to uni, I didn't speak to him for about 4 years or so. And I think that's why something like Gay Gooners really does feel like a family, because it is the family we get to choose. And there is a lot in the LGBT community about family that you get to choose, and Arsenal is one of those families. And I talk to my dad now. We get on really, really well. He's actually kind of done a full turn and is one of my biggest advocates for everything I do. People can change so much. If my dad, who didn't speak to me for years, can change and realize it shouldn't matter, it's about the value of the person, then anyone can change. In January, I came out as non-binary, which is a whole different kind of kettle of fish, much more misunderstood. For people who don't know, I use they, them pronouns, and it just basically means that the binary of male and female doesn't fit very well with me, but it isn't always safe. My first Arsenal game that I went to, presenting a bit more female, I had the support of wonderful friends and felt kind of safe in that environment. But on the way home, I had verbal abuse, and it knocks your confidence. And it's why I think we're so passionate about just talking about these subjects so much, and why even a simple social media post is so important, because it shines a light on that this is still an issue and it shouldn't be.
So my story is in many ways different from Joe's. At the time in 1970s, all that time ago, you kind of pushed you into the closet. Unfortunately, I fell into society's expectations and I got married, and it didn't work out in the end. So I came out in 2005, and it was an enormous relief off my shoulders, but obviously a tremendous weight on other people's shoulders. And I've always been very conscious of that. But I was able to be me. It wasn't really until I joined the Gay Gooners that I was able to express myself comfortably, and was something I'd always been very, very interested in, but never been brave enough to take part in, and that was to attend football matches. And every time I go to the Emirates and I look around and I say to myself, why didn't I do this sooner? It's had a profound impact on my life. And Hector, it's great that there's the Arsenal family, but there are occasions where we still have to call it out. And unfortunately, I missed your spectacular goal at Chelsea in January as a result of an Arsenal fan trying to start a homophobic chant that I tried to explain to her why we don't chant that, why we really shouldn't say it. And for half an hour and more, all I got was abuse. Like, you don't look gay. What does it matter what we chant? We've chanted it for 20 years. So basically saying, oh, I've been homophobic for 20 years and it's perfectly acceptable. So that was an occasion where it kind of backfired because I had so much, I left to go underneath the stands, and that's when you scored that beautiful goal.
You guys have two very powerful stories. I'm very glad that both of you are happy now, and I hope your stories really inspire other people that were in your place a few years ago. And about the abuse, I experienced it myself, even when I had my long hair, I had homophobic abuse. Football is rooted in a very masculine culture, very toxic many times. And, society in the 21st century is not how it was 20 or 30 years ago. The world is evolving, and we need to accept everyone the way they are. And it's just a way for us to be happier as well.
I'm pretty sure in the past you've said you felt it would be impossible for there to be an openly gay Premier League player sort of active in the league. I just wonder, is that because you think certain supporters aren't ready for it, and do you still feel how you felt maybe a couple of years ago?
I have to say that I haven't seen much change in that respect. Personally, and I feel like nowadays as footballers we're already scrutinized and we're already put under so much pressure, and we watch every single move that we do on the pitch and off the pitch. And even though I think if there was a gay player that would come out, he'll have a lot of support from loads of players and loads of fans, etc., but also there'll be a big part that wouldn't. And I'm afraid that sometimes when we look at our social media or when we look at things like this, the negative stuff always hurts more than the support and the structures that are put in place right now, whether that is by the Premier League or other leagues in the world or football clubs, in order for that player to ever have that support. I don't know if we're ready, and I think that's the reason why there's none yet. But we should be the ones helping break those barriers because we're privileged. Me as a white guy, straight, in the situation that I am, I have a lot of privilege. So I will keep supporting you guys. The team is behind you, and hopefully, you wouldn't have to be in a situation where a game would need to be spoiled and you can enjoy a last-minute winner or a last-minute throwing goal, and we can all live happy as a society, regardless of who we are or how we are.